CBS Fox Video presents a collector's preview.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away,
What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. And as I said in an episode about a month or two ago, this is the year for the big round table discussions, I think. As you can see in the gallery, we have a full band here today. And, you know, for what at one time we didn't used to get a lot of, full band interviews, because it's usually easier to do like one or two members, the driving force or whatever, but this has been really cool getting to talk with so many full bands and getting everybody's experience. You end up finding out, the bands typically end up finding out a little bit more about each other than they previously knew. So this week is no different. As you can see here in the gallery, we have the awesome people from Chariots Overdrive. And they are out of Atlanta, Georgia. Can we go around the room and introduce who we are?
Sure. I can start. I'm Hong Zhao. I'm the vocal and rhythm guitar of the band. Whoever wants to continue, please.
I'm Zhiyang Zheng, or you can just call me Yang. I'm the bassist of the band.
Right, hell yeah.
I'm Ray Chungwen. I play drums for Chariots Overdrive.
And I'm Joe. I'm the lead guitarist at the band.
Hell yeah. So awesome. You guys are in Atlanta, and obviously, you all So tell me about how did you all get to be in an American heavy metal band? Obviously you're here in the States now, but you all immigrated from various cities in China, correct?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And let's just say during this administration, that's a pretty fucking tough sell for anybody. I mean, that's some wild shit. I know you've probably been here for a bit, but obviously, that for the people out there in Metal Forge Land, how would you go about doing a process like that and actually, picking up roots and moving to, 7,000 miles away, another country, another continent?
So you don't answer. Okay, so I think for most of all of us, we are all international students. We study in the same university for different degrees, and then we just meet each other during we are in the university and during the local show. I'm not sure for others, but I met Hong Zhao, vocal, during a local show in a local black metal show. There's a band called Cloak, I think. That's a great band, and we met at the show and we found, there's another Chinese in that band. It's very rare to see any Asian in a metal show, so you just like to know each other during the show. And in this way, we just met and we found, we are in the same department of the same university. That's how it happens for me, and I think, you can introduce how you link to each other's.
Wow. See, that already is amazing. Imagine, what are the chances, being both in school and university and then meeting, however many miles apart, it's would you have ever, it's like if you had stayed and did something back home, would your paths have ever crossed if you had both stayed? The possibility, is in Tracy to
yeah.
fathom. So that's rad as fuck.
Yeah, actually, if we are in China, I don't think we will know each other. Like, because
Probably
like
never.
in a China, in a metal show in China, you don't need to know each other guys because there may be like tens of hundreds of Chinese in a metal show in a China metal show. So, you won't have that's that motivation to know each other during that kind of show, right? And
Sure.
like, but you are in a foreign country and you are in a local show that you can find real Asians in that scene, and so this actually increase our opportunity to know each other.
Hell yeah.
Yep,
pretty
that's true.
cool.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, exactly. So just like what Zhiyang said, I just met him at a like a local black metal concert. That was pretty rare. But you know the university we went to is very international. So you meet like people from any other country in that university. But
Sure.
you just didn't expect you see someone from the same country in America, but at a black metal concert. That's very rare. Yeah.
So how do the shows differ? Like where you'll say you met at the black metal show
Mhm.
versus like if you would have seen that same show back home, how would the audience have differed? Would it have been like 10 times more people back home? Or like or how, you know what I'm saying? Or would it be far less people because of less interest? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get your point. So, but I think if that kind of show happened like back home, I wouldn't talk to like a random stranger because I already know a bunch of people. I just maybe
Sure.
stand in there and drink beer with the people I already know, right? But for that day, it's just suddenly some person I never saw before, and I also know a bunch of people in Atlanta, but like he was definitely a new face, and we look pretty similar. So I just decided to talk to him, and then eventually we decided to play some music together. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, Rich, what are your stories? How was it for you all coming over?
I'm an old classmate of Hongzhao's. We were studying a master at Georgia Tech, and he know I can play guitar at that time, but sadly we didn't start a band during school, probably because we're just too busy.
Sure.
And actually we started this after we graduate. Finally got some work-life balance, but still feeling losing it right now. But glad he called me for a rehearsal with our previous drummer, and we started to just having the vibe together. The chemical is great, and we just keep the regular rehearsal going now.
Hell yeah.
Right. And I think I met Rachel at a jazz ensemble class back in
Oh
school.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'm still going to school right now, and they all graduated. I met them because through like mutual musician friends. I did my bachelor in the US as well, and now I'm doing my master's. And I started playing music with people when I first started my bachelor's. So I've been playing music for a while, just like meeting different musicians and stuff. So I had like mutual friends with I think all three of you guys. And like their previous drummer graduated and then they needed a new drummer. And I think they just texted me. Or like my friend who know them texted me.
It's like,
and
shit,
then,
who do we know?
yeah.
Who
Exactly.
It's like, who do we know that's a drummer that would fit in well?
Yeah, and,
It's like,
and there's such a friend list.
Let me ask, did they push you to get your masters here because they needed a drummer?
Well, when I first
you need to do it here so we can still play music together.
well, I started. Well, when I first joined the band, I was still doing my bachelor's. And yeah.
Actually, that's actually semi-true because
Yeah,
he was
that's-
debating should he
Yeah.
get a job in like the middle of nowhere in like a large factory or continue a master. And the three of us just try to convince him you should stay, not because of the band, but for your career or something like that. Yeah.
Like yeah,
So,
for
like-
it's more for career suggestion, not for the music actually.
What are your all's area of expertise, and like does what you're studying in your schooling, does it apply to what you're doing musically as well?
No, none.
No.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
so
a bit.
like so nothing at all with what you do. Like okay,
Not
like,
a bit. I think maybe Joe and Hongzhao because they study in music tech, so they may be. But I think Richard and me just don't have any related topic of music when we are studying. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, so music tech, hell yeah. Like, what does that entail for you guys?
I was basically studying how to develop audio plugins back in the days, and digital signal processing is one of my focus. Actually, after graduate, me and my friends started a startup just on the kind of innovative music industry, where we invented a wristband to control MIDI parameters while you're doing live shows.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was using Juice quite heavily just to develop all kind of C++ audio plugins. So actually, even though that does not help with my music creation, but in terms of how to record it, how to use the digital audio workstation, those kind of things, it definitely helps a lot.
Well, yeah, because see, I am the guy who, when I play in either of my two bands, even if I'm like doing a guest of something, I want to have a recorded version of it. You know, and even if that involves me like bringing my laptop with a room mic or something, or a little like a room audio recorder, I'm gonna do it. So like, yeah, having something like that would be awesome to, especially with the way technology changes now, the ease of access and such.
Right. And also back in the class, we even studied like the history of electric music. I'm
Cool.
I
pretty
hate
sure
that class.
That's the hardest class that I ever take. It's like doing all the words in the textbook. I recognize only 10% of them. And I remember the final exam is to have a listening test where Jason is playing all kinds of niche electric music, and we need to dictate who is the author of that music, something like that.
Oh, like what it's actually being played from?
Yeah, and also who kind of write this music.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. So you have to know, like, if it was, to say, like Tchaikovsky or somebody, or
it's not that's melodically obvious as that. There are like really ancient electric music where there's only like one word repeating for 100 times, something like that. Yeah, I remember that pretty well, and that's probably the hardest class I've ever taken.
That's wild. So the new album, so by the time this airs, we're going to be around the beginning of May. So the new album just recently coming out, called The End of Antiquity. Tell us about The End of Antiquity. What is it?
Oh, I have a lot to say about this. Actually, no. So yeah. So actually, this title is due to our song, right? There's a title song in the album, and this song begins with like a historical story in China. Like there's a assassination of the king, of the emperor, the first emperor of China, but that assassination was failed, and that was a very famous story back in China, and we just make a song for that. But it just reminds me of like the assassination of Caesar in Roma. It's just
Mhm.
similar. Like there's a ancient era of China and the ancient era of Roma and Greece era. It's just a similar comparison between Eastern and between the East and the West, and both is coming from the antiquity era into emperor and empirism era. So we
Sure.
just make this title like the end of antiquity. We just like want to mock the some kind of Western end of antiquity, but using that concept into the Chinese history about the great assassination story.
See, that's awesome because, like, and as you said, there's uh relative parts that where from between Greece and Chinese history and so on and so forth with that. But even still, even in American history, there's that as well. Like we've with our
Lincoln.
with like Lincoln and
Yeah,
even as late as Kennedy,
yeah.
for semi modern American history, there's still people that were alive for that. But like most of the
Mhm.
people who were ever around for Lincoln have all passed on. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, so it's like, at what point does it become legend?
Yes.
Exactly.
And what are, and that almost like makes me think of like take for example the people who play D&D. I love D&D growing up. I don't get to play it
Oh,
near as much now, but like the old school artwork that is straight up reminiscent of traditional heavy metal and such. In that, how do we know that like these characters that people have made up are not just passed down memories or something like that, like Tolkien writing about the elves
yeah.
or the dwarves, and then here we are now, and there's like so many different lore of them and such.
Yeah. Actually, I played a little bit D&D back in my undergrad years, but I don't know. So D&D has much more rules, like defined rules now. Like I know they have script for each game. So
Yeah.
you mean there's some legend actually success from
Well,
the old
I'm
D&D
just
to
I'm just
nowadays?
saying, like, I'm drawing the comparison to say that, like, saying how the legend, like with Caesar
Yeah.
and such, that or even a Zeus or somebody like that, those mythology and legend, at like with Lincoln being gone 150 years or whatever at this point, like at what point does that become a legend? And it's the same. So it's like, and then there's 2,000 years from now, are there going to be people writing this music like
Yeah.
like we're doing today with things like
Yeah.
that, like
Yeah.
the end of antiquity in 2,000 years, and it's about a current event today.
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. Yeah.
Like I think those legend will succeed in the whole history. Maybe 2,000 years later, still someone will write history or making some new form of art on that. Maybe not music anymore. Maybe it's some 3D stuff like surrounding you about this assassination. Like you can just even play the role. Like you can be the emperor
If
or
you
be
can
the
dream it, it can happen, right?
yeah, maybe 1,000 years ago. Later, maybe we will see that.
That's what I like about Star Wars, is it's a long time ago in a galaxy
Yeah.
far, far
Yeah.
away, so
Yeah.
what's going on with 26 for you all? Are we doing shows? Are we going to do some tours? The album's out, so what's going to happen?
So usually we just play local shows in Atlanta, but from last month, like from this March, we started to travel. We went to Florida one time, and we traveled to Oklahoma. There's a festival 2 minutes to Tulsa, so we
Yeah.
just played there. Yeah. So I think for this year, we want to like, travel more. Bring more live shows to all other states. Maybe starting from the nearby states like Tennessee, South Carolina, or even further. Maybe to New York
Sure.
City or somewhere.
And
But yeah.
maybe Kentucky or something.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not-
absolutely, absolutely.
Because Kentucky's about Louisville's about 8 hours, so from
Yes,
Atlanta. So,
it's
yeah,
not
that's
such a very far drive. We pass Tennessee and then we have Kentucky.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. So see,
Uh-huh.
you know exactly what's up. And I only say that because that's where I am. So
Yep. Yeah, we
so it'd be
definitely
a
want to
total
play
cool
there.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely getting more shows in is awesome. So now, collectively, was this your all's first outing as a band? Like, have you been playing shows for a while? Has this been like just something that you've recently done, or
Uh,
did you play in bands before as well?
so all of these, at least to me, all of these are very new. So most of my time in the past couple years were just in academia, but now we start to explore more. This was my first time in a recording studio, so
Okay.
a little bit nervous and made some mistakes, but we definitely learn from the experiences. And for the shows, we didn't start to play like serious shows until last year. So the first proper show we played was with Savage Master last year, from Kentucky
Oh.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Adam and Stacy and
Exactly.
and everybody,
Exactly.
Nick and River. Yeah, I love everybody in that band and everybody who's been in that band, even
Yep.
even Julian and shit. I can't think of his name. I've blanked on fucking John. John, I
Okay,
remember
John.
you, brother. I remember you.
Yeah.
I'll have
Yeah,
to send
so-
you a message, be like, dude, I forgot your name on on an episode, and then I remembered your name, and he'll be like, that's cool. But
That's
they've
cool.
got a new he's got a new thing out now.
Oh, really? I've definitely checked it out.
Yeah,
I've checked Metal Archives first.
John Littlejohn, yeah. Yeah, April, by the time we're recording this, it's April Fool's Day, and the Metal Archives did D&D stats for everybody.
Yep.
So your character stats of your charisma, intelligence, strength, wisdom, dexterity, it's all in there. So
Yeah,
it's
my
pretty-
score is very low. I checked today. I'm level 2 and like with very bad stats, but it's okay.
I think I can't remember what I was. Let me my guitar player in Ice House sent a screenshot of it. I was a level 6.
Oh wow.
But my wisdom is an 8. I get that. I mean that kind of
No.
I mean, it's kind of what it is.
Oh,
So hell yeah. Obviously with the new album just coming out, what else are you all planning? Are you all gonna get back into doing more writing or and releasing more music or what? Especially in the lull of like between shows and school and or work.
Yeah, so we started to write new stuff right after we got out of the studio. So from like end of last year, we started to write new stuff, but we keep getting like new shows. So that process have been interrupted multiple times. But we decided to write more music and try to maybe have another album coming out near future. I wouldn't say very soon, but near future. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think in this day and age, in such like a digital world, that's what you almost have to do. It's like you almost have to keep going. And yeah, there's bands that that they don't necessarily take a break, but their process is a lot more spread out versus being a really concise tight thing. And I know when you're at the very beginning of something, you've all the fire is there.
Yep, exactly.
And it's just like getting those you said your first proper show, and it's like whatever is proper, I don't know. I think a show is a show, even if it's a house party. If it's a house party, if it's at the local dive bar and only 12 people showed up or 6 people or 4 people, Any multiple of 2, just not any odd number. That's just weird. Because I like even numbers because people go home together and make sure they
Makes
get home
sense.
safe. So
To
they
know
make
where
sure
you
they
go.
get home safe. Nobody goes home alone.
Yep, exactly. That's the point.
I mean, because we saw what happened with Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. Anyway, I digress. But no, so yeah, I think ultimately the fire's there when you're first starting out, because it's not necessarily something to prove, but you've got multiple ideas and you're drawing from different things, like like in power metal, you're drawing like a Maiden influence, but you might have this like kick-ass like rock and roll Motorhead influence on something, and it just come out into the grinder, as it were. And even then, like some Russian Judas Priest stuff that makes its way in is really rad too. So I mean, hopefully the new stuff is kicking ass just as much as the end of Antiquity is.
Yeah, hopefully. And we need to improve. We learned something from the first album and hope to, improve and deliver a better one in the future. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
the 2 songs we are working on now, actually very good. Actually, to my standard, I think they sounds great, and actually I like it even a little bit better than previous song we did in the end of Antiquity. But yeah, you still need to polish. I think we will make it playable in a show maybe after June, I think. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So look for it. We're going to post one of the songs here at the end, later on the show, as always. But I want to switch over and ask you guys some derailed questions about you all as people. These range anything. They're crazy, mild, wild, lurid, tame, not safe for work. Just kind of like what's out there. What comes after we die? Do you believe in conspiracies? I kind of do. Stuff like that. Real interesting conversation starters, I guess. If you woke up in the morning and your job immediately became obsolete, what would you do?
I guess this doesn't really apply to me because I'm still going to school, but I guess that's more like if
Well,
my
I'm sure, but you're also in your master's.
yeah, I guess
So
the
whatever.
stuff I'm
So like
studying
if you're
goes
going
like
for your master's, like, and it just immediately disappeared tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good question. So immediately my job became obsolete. Does that mean like I can still do my job, or it's like it doesn't mean anything to the world anymore? It's like whatever I do, it's meaningless.
So what do you do?
For me, I'm just I work on like a data scientist for like a tech company. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. Yeah.
So like that stuff becomes obsolete anyways because they close some of those departments down or people get bought out or so I mean there's always that possibility, like being
Yeah,
bought out by another company and losing your job that way.
that's very
So
true.
and especially in that world, especially with big conglomerate business, that shit gets gobbled up a lot.
Yeah, so I think if that happens to me, the first thing I would do is just go back to sleep. I just refuse to believe what I see, and I will sleep more, and then I wake up and start to to digest the information.
What about everybody else? What would you do if your job immediately became obsolete?
I would be happy and sad at the same time. Happy as, okay, I don't need to go to work today. Sad as, okay, no money for today. But I always got the plan to become a guitar luthier sometime when I got retired. And if that day comes, I just retire early. And I can pursue the other career, probably.
That's awesome, man. And I know you probably seen it. Well, I think I was showing the room around before you came on, as you can see here. I have the neck ready to go for my custom bass, and
nice.
I'm going to be taking it to my guy here in the next week or so.
That's awesome.
Sick.
So yeah, the luthier stuff, we're gonna film it actually, and it's gonna be like a supplemental episode of the Metal Forge here. So
nice.
Yeah, he does really good work.
Whose turn?
Yeah.
I would say like if I lose my job, I just need to like find one. Like you need to start to find the other job, and yeah, I think you always have some backup and connection, like before you actually losing the job. So I hope these methods will work when I actually lose my job. Yeah.
Very logical. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So here's one. Since we're on the topic of jobs, and if yours became obsolete, what would you do? If you could just pick any just plain job just to live life, and get by, day to day, what would you pick? What would you just do that is fun to you, but you're just getting paid to work there?
Oh, if I can choose any job, I want to be like a professional soccer player. That would be the dream job to me. Yeah, but in reality, I'm no good at soccer, even though I have the passion for it. But yeah, but for as a player, I'm just regular person. But yeah, hey, in my imagination, I'm like I score in the World Cup. So
right on.
Yeah.
Like, would you get like I guess what I'm trying to say is like, would you get like a job at the guitar shop?
Oh yeah, that of course works too. Yeah.
Yeah, or would you, like back in the day when people rented videos, getting, like working in the video stores, or something, like, would you work at like the local grocery store or something, because it's just a mundane thing to get you by.
Exactly. I think work for like a video shop is a really nice job because I imagine, right, when there's nobody there, you can just watch all the tapes you have in the store, and eventually you probably watch like 5,000 movies if you work there.
Oh yeah, for sure, throughout the day. Yeah, and
sorry, go ahead.
When I was growing up, when I was growing up, that's what we had a little family-owned shop in town. And there, the one day the mother would work, and they would do they would work a shift each. Like the kids would work, or the kids, when they got old enough to date, their girlfriends or boyfriends would work at the shop and stuff like that. And yeah, it was really wild because you would always go in and there'd be movies on all the time. And you're watching like Swamp Thing, in the corner, and it's on like a little CRT television, and the wood paneling on the wall and stuff like that. Reminds me of home.
I think something similar to that is work for like GameStop.
Sure, that
might be the
closest thing to it today, or like a used shop, we have some here. They're called Book and Music Exchange. That'd be like a Half Price Books. I think Half Price Books is a chain now. But yeah, it'd be something like that where it's like, would be like the equivalent. It's like, do you have this on VHS? Let me go look in the VHS section.
Yep, that's super cool, and recommend something to people, right? People just came in and say, "Oh, anything fun recently, and you already saw all of them, and you can still start to recommend. That's
Sure.
pretty awesome.
A record store would be the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and same for the video games store, like GameStop.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you all gamers? Do you all play games and stuff?
Not recently, but back then I play a lot of. When I was a kid, I played lots of Pokemon and this kind of game.
Right.
Yeah, and I play some other game like Civilization, Crusader Kings. Those are the game I spend a lot of time in the past couple years, but not recently. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not either. Like I tell everybody all the time that my biggest like game thing is contribution at this point is Virtual Console.
Virtual Console. Okay.
Yeah, on like the Wii, where
I see.
not
Yeah.
the Wii, the Switch.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like the old like 80s NES and Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, I still play those. I like to play Contra. That was one of my favorite games.
Yeah,
growing up.
Contra's the jam. And
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger from
Exactly.
Commandos on the cover of it.
It's
Hell
super
yeah.
great.
He showed me during master. He played Contra without even shooting the gun.
So that means that you only jump. You jump through the enemies.
Yeah, you're only doing the So how do you get? Well, hang on now. Then how do you get past like the stages, like where they're the tunnel stages?
The tunnel stages?
On Contra, or am I thinking of Super Contra?
Oh, I think I was thinking the Super Contra, but Contra, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like in the crawling position, and you're like, and you have to fire down the hallway. It's like, but I was like, say, because you can't jump through that, you have to fire the gun.
Yeah, exactly. So for the boss and for some kind of thing, you have to shoot. But like if you don't have to shoot, you just jump through the enemies. You just let the enemies run over
That's
you.
why the speed run is like 4 minutes.
Yeah, those people are crazy. I learned some tricks from them, but I never actually do any speed run. Yeah, but those guys are on another level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. They're insane. But like I know I've watched people do like the Legend of Zelda without the sword speed run, and it's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it without getting any of the swords. If you had to suffer through a natural disaster, like what would you choose to go through? If you could choose the natural disaster. First off, have you ever actually? Because that might be I don't want to play it down if that's a thing. I mean,
I'm lucky enough. I never experienced any like natural disaster. Any of you guys?
It depends on the scale. Like you're saying, like only like 100 people dying, like this kind of disaster. I experienced one. But if you mean like those
so
like dying like thousands of people,
I would say like natural disaster, meaning something that's not caused by people being stupid.
Yeah. I mean that
tornadoes, earthquakes.
So So in our area, it's called typhoon. So it's huge. Like I think when I was like 10 years old, like there's a huge typhoon in Asia. It's like I think you will see like the first floor and second floor of all the buildings will just merge in the water.
Now, was that
or
around
flooded.
like 2006 or 7?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I think
is that
so. Like 20
was
years
that the
ago.
tsunami?
No, there's no tsunami. I think there's a tsunami in Japan, I guess, but not in China.
Oh, okay. My
mistake.
Yeah. My mistake.
But I think it's the same area. Like there's a very huge typhoon, and I think at that time all the first floor and second floor are all flooded. But to me, like I live in like 5th floor and 6th floor, so I just like no more need to go to school and just stay at home for a couple days with the candles.
Yeah,
in the
just the
night.
power being out and
But
all
I
that.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the most suffering is that you don't have any like air condition in the summertime. Like you need to like stay in 30-degree with high humidity for like a week, whole day long, like from morning to the night. So that's the most suffering. But to me, because I live a little bit higher, so it's okay for me. But I know that that typhoon like it actually killed like 100 people, I think.
Oh wow.
And I think for our area, like in Georgia, last year we have a tornado, right? But it does not affect Atlanta that bad. But I know in the rural Atlanta, I think the East Georgia, there's a lot of people suffering. I heard from a neighborhood like their parents' farm was almost broke, destroyed by the tornado.
Oh wow.
Like yeah, it's kind of I think you are in Kentucky, right? I
Yeah.
heard like Kentucky had tornadoes
Yeah. Through
time by
here
time.
we're like in the corridor that's like, so where I am is I'm in a small town right on the Indiana Kentucky border on the Ohio River.
Hmm.
And so we basically get like a bit like in the wintertime over on the Indiana side, we usually get a snowdrift
Oh,
from the river, that where it gets a little bit more on our side of the river, and that's usually where that splits. But when tornadoes and stuff come east from like Kansas and Missouri and Nebraska, they come straight up through that corridor there as well, through like 60, it'd be like Highway 64 and stuff, and it's like the Ohio River line. So
yeah.
yeah, we totally get them as well, and they're terrible.
Yes, that's terrible. And a
And
fun
then
story is that our government, like local government, when I was young, they rebuilt a historical building in my city. It's called like a building that is should control the sea, like there's some ritual meaning and religious meaning in the history like 200 years ago. And the government just rebuilt that building and there are no more typhoon and no more no more wind and no more heavy rain in my city anymore. And it's almost being a legend or a local a local mystery in my city. Yeah.
oh wow, so like it's like one of the last buildings that survived it, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's like it's the building was built like 100 years ago, several hundred years ago,
Okay,
and it used to be the highest building in the ancient area, like 200 years ago, and
okay.
that building was supposed to control the sea. The meaning of that building is to control the sea. Like it can suppress the sea, and you don't need to suffering from typhoon or this kind of natural disaster. And like it being a long time, so it's kind of old and not maintained very well. But after that typhoon, like the local government just rebuild that building and refresh it. And after that, there's no more huge natural disaster in the
Okay, I
province.
see now.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
it's
they
weird
spent
and
all
it's
that
kind of
they spent
mystery.
all that money to fix it, and then there hasn't been anything since.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it actually
it's kind
works.
of religious. Yeah,
That's great.
that's
Uh
crazy. Yeah, I think it's maybe just coincidence, but it's all almost become a mystery.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Uh do you have a favorite superhero or comic?
I don't think for me, I think like for most of the these kind of like comics, I have one I like, but I don't think I have the most favorite one. If I have to name one, I would say like Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, because he looks cool, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
The
I
mean,
only
like Batman
yeah.
too.
like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. There's a many different eras of Batman that I like. That
Yeah.
and
Mhm,
Batman, he kind of looks cool no matter what.
mhm. Yeah,
You know?
I know. I think at the very beginning, it's almost like a detective, right? It's no relation to the supernatural stuff, but after that,
Sure.
there's become the Justice League, and he needs to fight with some inhuman like Superman. So so like I think the company, the I think DC just make him more and more intelligent. He can build something like some technology not exists in the reality, and he's not anymore a detective, but becomes some kind of superpower in the brain.
Sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They pretty much have done that. He's almost like a Tony Stark now. He's like a super genius.
Yeah, yeah,
And not only that, but like what else? It's you know, I always took Batman to be the guy to throw the billionaire. He's throwing money at people to get him this stuff off of the black market. So, like,
yeah,
you know, I mean, he himself being is more would be more of a an anti-hero detective, you know,
yeah.
vigilante than actual like superhero.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think like DC make a lot of story behind this to make his make he looks more hero, like for example, like they make Wayne company to spend a lot in like well-being of the citizens or something like that. But you know, I think if he lives in reality and he's still that kind of good guy, there's much more different way to resolve the issues in Gotham City, not just like wearing the mask and fight the criminals in the night at the night. Like he's a billionaire and he has a lot of relationship in the government, and he can be a better politician, not just a, a a hero in the night at the night.
Right. No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right with that. Joe, Rich, what do you all have? Do you all have a favorite hero, superhero, or comic book,
Oh,
or fandom? I guess you know, like obviously, I've got like all the Masters of the Universe stuff here.
I think I'm more influenced by Japanese animations.
Okay,
I would just have the cliche one, Naruto. I watched it since first grade, and uh, uh, he's. I really like him, given like he is not being recognized by people around him,
hmm,
and he still keep his dream going, and just never give up. That's kind of the spirit that I got from him.
dig. Oh yeah.
I guess I don't really have a favorite superhero. But I'm into like films and movies and stuff, and
Okay.
I like the new Superman movie. I guess it's not new anymore. It's like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Is that one what like Dawn of Justice, or is that what that is, or?
Uh, it's released either last year. I think it's last year.
Okay. See, I'm so behind on like that whole like Zack Snyder verse thing.
Yeah.
So like, and I know they've canceled most of it. So I'm just kind of like, nah, I don't know if I want to get into it. I think I watched Suicide Squad was probably the last, and Birds of Prey were probably the last two DC films I watched.
Oh yeah, I saw Suicide Squad. Yeah. I saw the
It,
Superman movie with my dad
the
last.
the second Suicide Squad, not the one with Jared Leto.
Oh,
The one where it's Idris Elba and King Shark and Harley Quinn. Yeah, that one. That one's a good one. That one's funny
yeah,
as
yeah.
hell.
I don't know if I watched the second one, but I remember I liked the first one. It was pretty fun.
Hell yeah. If you could have one thing from home right now, with living here in America and immigrating? What would you wish you could have? Whether it be something food related, something, just something from home, what would it be?
I'm probably gonna say like food related.
Okay.
There's this food, it's like egg pancake. It's called
Yeah.
煎饼. We have it here. It's just like by like one store, but I wish it's more common. But I guess Atlanta's like pretty diverse. So there's like Chinese grocery stores and stuff.
Okay. So
But
you could actually make it if you wanted to.
yeah,
But it's never
but
as good as somebody who does it like
yeah, but like
traditional.
like in back home, it's like everywhere on like you can just buy it everywhere. Like on it's like people who make it and sell it, it's like very
Oh, and
common in China. And but
sure. And I'm sure there's like grades of it. Like, yeah, it's like that one, that person's isn't that good, but this one is really good. So you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
hit
yeah,
that shot. Just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hitting up like the hot dog stand or the taco truck or
yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
See,
yeah, it's
that's
like
that's
street food.
cool shit to me. What about everybody else?
Hmm. I would bring my parents here if that's possible.
What was that?
Yeah, it's better if I can bring my parents here, like my
Oh,
dad and
yes.
mom.
That would
uh,
be amazing.
right, yeah, and I feel I haven't spent much time since I go to master degree, and feel missed a lot of time with them. Yeah.
For sure.
Hongzhao, anything you want to say?
I might bring some books. I regularly read from home. Just like the regular book, not like digital books. So nowadays I normally read like on Kindle. But that it doesn't feel that good compared to like a real book. So yeah,
Sure.
if I could, I'll bring some authentic real books and yeah, just read them.
Nice.
Actually, I cannot think of anything I really want to bring here. I just want the transportation and all the shipping service will be much better than now. Like, if you like, if I want to eat Chinese food, I can go to China, and if I want to eat something like local southern food, I just eat it in the U.S. Like better transportation, better shipping, uh, lower tax, lower tariff, like this kind of stuff. I just want this. Like I don't think I need to bring anything here.
He knows what's up. He knows exactly what the fuck is up, especially if you're a musician. Now it's even harder to do all the things and about shipping to like with Bandcamp and everything. If you've got physical media and just because of some crazy ridiculous tantrum throwing fucking I'm sorry, I'm digressing. I'm getting off on a tangent here. Did I mean to say that? I don't fucking know. But anyway, I've got one more question. But before we get to it, as always, links they're listed below. So please give likes, shares, follows, go do all the things, all the stuff. When give them the follow, you're going to see when they're going to play live. They've said they're willing to travel to shows. So that kicks ass. So hopefully you'll get to see them. They obviously played 2 minutes to Tulsa. And we are definitely a huge fan of that fest here on the Metal Forge. Sorry, had to cough. Anyway, so dudes, thank you all so much for coming to the Metal Forge today. I appreciate you all. Before we go, do you have anything else you would like to promote or anybody you would like to give shout outs to?
Shout out to Greg who made our album too.
Yeah,
Yeah, our
our
producer.
producer and also our like the first drummer. Like he worked with for the two songs in the album. Yeah. I think this is all the acknowledgement we need to do it. I think.
Hell
Do you
yeah.
guys have anything else? Yeah.
I mean, we can. I can mention my guitar teacher. His name is also Greg. I only learned guitar from him for like a couple months, but he introduces me to all the, all the cool metal bands. Not just the big names, but all the, all the underground legends. Yeah. So shout out to Greg. He opens the gate to me. Yeah, for the whole genre.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
when does that happen?
So that was like 12 years ago or something. I only took lessons for several months, but that Greg, he introduced me to all the, all the awesome band. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. So, kind of an interesting hypothetical here. With everything going on crazy in the world and how many species have been around, in the next, like, what do you think is going to be the next domesticated pet that become from a wild animal?
Zebra.
Zebra?
Yeah, that's just a
Yeah,
wild guess.
that
Yeah.
makes sense because people already breed zebras and donkeys.
Oh, they do? Okay, never heard of that.
Yeah.
I would definitely Google that. Okay.
Yeah, they're zonkies.
Donkey. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'll
And
definitely
they're
check this
like
out. Yeah.
they look like a donkey, but they have like stripes on half of their body.
All right, interesting. Okay,
Oh,
never
yeah.
know that.
I think
Interesting
that's
to know.
doable. That's doable. Like we know that in the history we have horse plus donkey, right?
Yeah, that's a mule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get a
Yeah.
mule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mule, yeah.
Mhm.
So I think zebra is just another kind of horse, but with
Yeah, but I heard zebra is
Right.
very hard to get domesticated. It's like they're super wild, but someone will figure it out and they will ride a zebra in the future,
Could you
I guess.
imagine if we could domesticate lions or tigers or
Oh
big
wow,
cats like that?
that's even
Like,
crazier. Yeah,
because we
cheetah.
even
Yeah,
have like house cats, they're
yeah,
all and house cats. I don't know if you all are fans, but like house cats are always in charge no matter what.
yeah. Joe
Like,
has a lot to say. Yeah,
like I'm sure his cat is telling him to get the hell off of the Zoom call because mine do that. They will come up and they will interrupt in these interviews from time to time. So like imagine like a 150-pound cat coming in and demanding your attention. That has teeth this long.
that'll be
That's-
wild. Yeah,
That's already happening in Russia.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah. I think some people do have like a pet tiger, but I don't know if that went really viral or not.
I mean, I've seen them in those sanctuaries where they've been like parts of circuses or something.
True.
And
Yeah.
then the circus have like quit using animals and they've like put them on like an animal sanctuary and people walk up and like their caretakers are like all hands on with them. So maybe that's a possibility. Maybe you'll get a live band shot with two tigers in the shot because they'll be your pets in the near future.
How much food that they consume every day? That's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Yeah.
How much raw meat do you have
Yeah,
to
exactly. Yeah.
buy? Because that's what they're gonna. I mean, you can't just go down to Walmart and get tiger chow.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No, so like you're gonna have to go to the butcher shop and get like a half of a cow a week, probably.
Yep, exactly.
Dudes, thank you all so fucking much. This has been
Yeah.
awesome. I
you,
appreciate
Mark.
y'all for doing this. I'm just like interested. I want to see you guys play live because I sit there and I got sent the album the promo tracks and was just like, you know what, this is pretty rad. I am digging this. And it was just like within like a day of getting it, I was like, I've got to hit these dudes up and put them on here because like this is such fun, like listening to bands like Judas Priest, you know, Iron Maiden, you know, that early like Dio even, you know, really early stuff where you're just like that, yeah, this is fucking rad, you know. I'm gonna do it's like
Wow.
that
That's a
drive,
super high praise.
yeah, that whole driving thing that those bands have. I felt that, and I put it on in the house, and I'm just doing like the dishes and like straight, and it's like as I'm doing it, listening to this, it's like the album's still going, and I'm just like continuing to fill my time, finding little like I could fix this, I could do this, and as I'm listening, and it's just like motivating me to like do like a better like upkeep.
Wow.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's what I took away from listening to this album was like the driving force of the whole thing. So on our way out today from the album, what do you want to play?
Joe or any of you make a choice.
And maybe the title track then, End of Antiquity.
title track, yeah.
Okay, we can play that. Yeah.
That's my personal favorite, probably.
Okay,
Hell
so he
yeah.
picked the title track, then let's go with that. Yeah.
The End of Antiquity
Let's go.
from Chariots Overdrive. Metal every day. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Mark.
Thank you,
so much.
everybody.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you everybody
audience.
for
Thank you.
listening. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon?
then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon